friends, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Ten. Today we're going to be talking about the worst babysitting job I ever had. And back years, many years ago, I was a babysitter. And don't knock that job because I got very good pay being a babysitter. I had friends that worked in a department store and I was making way more money than them. So not too much on that. And it's funny because I used to hate saying I'm a babysitter because I felt like people looked down on you. But baby, that check was nice, so I did not care. Well, those checks, because I had different babysitting jobs with different people and that money was coming in. So yeah. So I met I had a friend and she told me that there was this guy that was looking for a babysitter. I guess him and his girlfriend or baby moms were breaking up and he needed a babysitter. At the time he lived in a different state and she lived in the same state I was at. So the babysitter, me as a babysitter, I'll be going to her house to watch the kids. She had like 3 kids and one was very small, maybe like 2-year-old. I don't remember the ages of the other kids, but they weren't, maybe in like first grade or something, 5, 6, I guess. So it was 3 kids. One of them seemed like they were on their way little, but I love that little girl. And I also had a second babysitting job. So this one was the second job, and then I had another one that was the first job. Maybe made that clear. So I had 2 jobs at this particular time. The first job had like 3 kids. The second job was the one that's the worst babysitter job that I had. That was 3 kids also. On this particular day, I had to take the first job, number 1. I had to pick up those kids from school and then take them home. And job number 2, I also had 3 kids that I was supposed to pick up and take home. But the little girl that was like 2, I had her all day. So I did not drive at this time. I was taking the bus. I don't know why or how these 2 jobs intertwined that same day, but it did and kind of made the situation worse. So I had the 2-year-old and the big kids that I had, job number 1, I could pick those kids up and then take them home first. And then I would come back and pick up the other kids because they was going to like after school, I believe. So I took the bus, took those kids home that had like lived a little distance, brought them home, dropped them off. And for some reason, whoever was supposed to be home that day when I dropped them off was not home. So I had to spend some time there until that person got to the house. When I tell you this was the day that's a disaster, everything went left. So I was there now and I'm like trying to figure out how am I going to leave because I have to go and pick up the other kids for job number 2. So job number 1, the mom, I kept calling her to say like, hey, I'm at the house. Nobody's here. I have somewhere I have to go. Blah, blah, blah. Nobody. So I had to wait for a while. Time started ticking. And it's like, you got to go. I was young too. So I was trying to figure out like, how am I going to make this work this particular day? And then as time was going on, I had a boyfriend at the time. So I started to call him and I'm telling him exactly what's happening. And I'm like panicking because I'm like, I cannot leave these kids at the school. I can't leave these kids here by themselves. Like, I don't know what to do. So he was like, do you want me to go pick up the kids from the school and then I can just drop them off at their house? And I was like, yo, you would be so helpful if you can do that. And he was like, okay, then he's going to go. He went and picked up the kids. And then the school was like, oh, these kids are always late to school. Not because of me. I don't drop them off. Or I think I might have started dropping them off at a certain time. But at that particular time, I don't know what happened with that. And they started saying, these kids are always late to school. They're going to kick them out. And then I think they did get kicked out of the school. And I was just like, the fuck is going on today? Like, the day was just going left. So when he went to pick them up, they told him that information. He called me telling me that. And I started to panic again because I'm like, what? Like, how are they getting kicked out of school? Like, that has nothing to do with me. Let me call the mom, tell the mom what's going on. So he picked them up and dropped them off at their house. I think the mom was home at that time. And for some reason, she was home this day. I still had a 2-year-old. So after leaving the kids at the first job, I left the kids there now because somebody came in, like an aunt or somebody came. So I was able to leave them. Then I got to take the bus again with the little girl. And that took a while to get to the other side of the town. By the time I got to that side, it was getting dark now. So it's like everything was just, oh my God, it was like the crazy day. So by the time I got to her house, it was like dark and late. So she started to say how I'm trying to take her kid away from her. And wait, let's pause this part now. Before we got to that, this lady's kind of cuckoo because she started to say how I wanted her man. Like, I wanted her. I only met this man one time. The one time I met him was a time when he was trying to explain to me how to take care of the kids, and that he did not live here in this state. He lives in a different state, and he just comes back and forth, and that's why he needed a babysitter. That was the only time, and when I had to get paid, and that was it. I never saw this man again. So when she was telling me all of this, I'm like, what? Like, so she started saying something like, oh, you've been to his house before? And I'm like, no, I've never even been anywhere. This is the only place I know. And she was like making it seem like you're lying. Like, but you do not know me and I don't know you. I was like a kid. The fuck? Sorry for cursing. But I was just like, no. So she was like, so you never been to his house before? And I'm like, no. Cause I was young too. I didn't even know how to respond to some of those things. I wasn't even having sex. Like, what? I was taking her man, or I was with her man, and this and that. But she had a weird working job hour. Like, she would go to work 2, 3 in the morning, and I'm like, why would you even take a position like that, hours like that, when you have a little kid and 3 kids at that? That didn't make sense to me. But I was young. I didn't. As an adult, you start to realize like people do things because you probably get more money if you work a certain hours. To each his own. Whatever her position was, it had nothing to do with me. I was just there to watch the kids and take my ass home. And she just started throwing jabs like, oh, you've been to his house before? I don't know this man, and I don't even know you. Like, I'm trying to get to know these kids and help you out. So yeah, so now fast forward to the day when the kids got kicked out of school. I had to bring back the little girl to her. She kept calling my phone, and I'm trying to explain to her, like, hey, I had to be somewhere on this particular day. So, I was lying about that part because I couldn't tell her I had another job. So I was like, I had to take the kid here, and I had to go somewhere, and I'm on my way with your daughter. And she was like making a whole thing like, oh, you tried to take my daughter away from me. And I'm like, I ain't trying to take nothing away from you, baby. I do not want no kids. At this time, I was young and free. Like, what was I doing with a kid? The only kids I had was the ones I was babysitting. And that was about it. Like, have what kid? Do you know how long I waited to do anything because I was scared to be a teen mom? Do you know how long I waited because I did not want to be a mom early? I always wanted to be a mom, but maybe not at that time. I was young and having fun, like now. So I was just like, okay, whatever. So my man called me now, and he was like, oh, she said this, she said that. And it was like a crazy, oh my God. And after he dropped the kids off, I guess she was mad about that too, because why is he dropping off? Which I understand. Like, as a parent, why the hell is he doing your job, right? Understandable. But like I told y'all before, I was caught in a moment where I just couldn't get the kids, and he was there. He's a good guy, but he was also, that's a whole different story, let me tell y'all. But yeah, and he dropped them off. On my way now, I couldn't make it back in time on the bus. So I got off the bus, and then I called a cab, and I was just like, let me take a cab because I'll get there faster. I took a cab, and it went there. That same day, I had got a phone call. I think the day before I got a phone call, because this is why you should never put nothing in your name for anybody. I know I'm going all over the place, but don't put anything in your name for nobody, not a soul. This man that my mom was with asked me to put something in my name for him to be able to buy something, I think, off the internet. And I did. And I didn't realize that they were going to keep taking money out of it. I thought it was like a one-time payment thing, and it wasn't. They kept taking the money out, I guess, monthly or something. So it got to the point where I don't know what happened, and the payment wasn't going through. And I don't remember how the whole story went, but somehow they got a hold of my account with that information, and they took all the money I had in my account. All the money was gone. And I was just like, what the... Let's go backwards now. So I took the cab with the kid, went to the mom's house, gave her her child, and she was so mad at me. Like, she was pissed. Like, when I tell you mad, Understandable. I get it. But yeah, she was so mad at me, and I understand it, right? And then after that, now I gave her the kid. I left. Thank God she didn't call over me. I went to the ATM not to pay the cab driver because he was just like, maybe I should have named this the worst day of my life. Not I had the worst babysitter, but went to the ATM not to go take out the money. The ATM was next to my man's house. Um, I took the money. I went to go take the money out of the ATM, and the ATM was like giving me problems, issues, and I'm like, What's wrong with the ATM? I got money, so no money wasn't coming. I kept saying decline. So I'm like, decline? Like, how the hell is my card decline? I got money. Like, ain't no way. So it kept saying decline, decline. I'm like, something is wrong with either the machine or wrong with my card because I know for a fact I have money on my card. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Like I remember I mentioned before, those people, whoever they were that he bought something from, decided to take all the money on my card, and that's when I found out there was no money on my card because the company that he bought whatever from decided that they wanted their money and they was taking it out of my account because that's what they had on file. So, mind you, I had no money to pay the cab driver, so I started to cry. Like I broke down because the whole day was so terrible. I didn't know what else to do for the day. I started to cry my eyes out. Then I called my man because he lives close to the ATM store that I was at. I was like, can you bring me $20? I just need to pay the cab driver. I'll give it back to you. He wouldn't take it back, but I was just like, I'll give it back to you. Can you just bring me $20? It's an emergency situation and blah, blah, blah. And he brought me the money and I gave it to the cab driver. He's like, you gonna come upstairs? And I'm like, no, I'm gonna go home. Because I was having such a bad day. I didn't want to talk to nobody, not a soul. And my house was far from his house and it was a long ass walk, maybe like a 30-minute walk. I walked all the way from his house, the store deli area, all the way to my house. 30-minute walk, and I cried my eyes out. When I got home, my brother was like, what's wrong with you? The one that passed, he was like, what's wrong with you? And I'm just like, I didn't want to talk about it. I should have told him because I needed to vent and I didn't want to. And I just kept crying. I cried all night because of that situation. For having a bad day, and on top of having a bad day, for not having no money in my account. Like that was over the roof with that. Like not having no money? Baby, being broke is not a joke. No. So I was crying my eyes out. And yeah, after that now, the next day came. And after that, I think I still had the baby bottle in my bag. And she was like, where, one particular bottle, like she didn't have other bottles. She's like, where is my baby bottle? And I'm like, I don't know. It's not in her bag. And she was like, no. So I think I went through my bag or something and I found the bottle. And I was like, oh, I have the bottle here. I can bring it to you tomorrow or something. And she was like, no, I'm coming to get my baby bottle right now. I guess she wanted to know where I live. I didn't know at this time because, like I said, I was young. I didn't. But I told her to meet me at somebody else's address on my block because she was not coming up to my house. And so she came, and that lady was harassing me after that. Like I told her, I said, after you pay me, I'm not gonna continue to watch your kids. You can find somebody else because this is not that. She used to call my phone all the time, block numbers. She used to be like, I'm trying to be with her man. Like I said, I only saw that man one time, and that was it. She was just like harassing me, calling me all the time, telling me for days, weeks, calling from weird numbers, calling from block numbers, telling me I'm trying to take her man. All types of stuff. Even my friend used to sit next to me. We used to be in the car driving around, and she would call my phone, and my friend used to be like ignore her, or my friend would call and speak up, and we would curse her out. It was always something with her, and I was just like, this lady's harassing me. I didn't even go to as far as to like press charge or nothing like that, but I was just like, because I'm like, she got kids, And I figured eventually she'll stop if I ignore her. And she did after a long time. But that's when I learned this lady is crazy. And that's why I didn't take certain type of jobs when it came to babysitting. Instead of her, whatever she got going on or whoever she's with, why not go take it out on him? She was trying to take it out on me, who was an innocent bystander. Like, I did not know nothing that's going on in their relationship. I didn't know nothing about this man besides the fact that he was paying me to watch his kid because he did not live in the same state and they needed a babysitter. So that was the worst babysitting job I had. I had other babysitting jobs. Those were up and down experiences, but they were not as bad as this one. This one was just like harassment. craziness. It was a terrible day that led to me saying this is not going to work out, and I had to leave that job alone. And I genuinely loved her little kid, like genuinely liked her a lot. But yeah, be careful who you're babysitting for. And she was just crazy. And when a man is involved, they're even crazier. I don't know what's up with women and men, and they going after the woman when you probably be clueless. But I had nothing to do with that. I never slept with that man. I never cared about that man. I don't know that man. And she took it out on me. Why? I don't know. But she knew her man. I don't know. But anyways, this is the end of that story. I hope you guys enjoyed it. No matter how much money you're getting out of that job, if it makes you feel uncomfortable, leave, quit. If they're coming up with scenarios in their head to make you look like something that is not, leave. If they accuse you of stealing anything, leave. All the red flags that you see in the beginning or at any point that you're doing a babysitting job, leave. Do not stick around. It's only going to get worse. It's just like a relationship. It's only going to get worse. Don't let them accuse you of stealing anything. Don't let them accuse you of no man being with their man. None of that. The first red flags you see, no matter what age you are, leave. That's all I'm going to say at this point when it comes to any signs that you see that makes you uncomfortable in any job, leave. If they hire you to do one thing and then asking you to do something separate, make sure you're getting paid for something separate. Do not take on additional jobs and then you're not getting paid for it. Don't do it. I've been there, done that, and let me tell you, you had to be getting, if you're a babysitter and they want you to do housekeeping, that's a separate job and a separate pay. Do not say, okay, it's fine, I'll do the babysitting and then I'll do the housekeeping. No, that's two separate jobs. Make sure you're getting paid for both. Stick to your prices, because at the end of the day, they're trying to save money and you're trying to gain. So lesson learned. And I'm trying to let y'all know, put you on game. If you're trying to do a babysitting job, yeah. Check out some of my other videos, come back for more. And you're already here, so just click that subscribe button. Let's be friends. I got so much to tell y'all. So click that subscribe button. We can be friends now.